And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
To throw on second down is Smith. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Garrett Williams. And the Cards are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
Well, they're certainly in a bad way right now. Not so bad that you can call this one over already, but bad enough that you know you can't toss an interception to open the second half. This just ratchets up the pressure on this team's defense right now.
And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Coach.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. A short one here, caught by McBride. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Now this is fielded in the end zone. Yeah, he was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Back to Walker on 1st down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
The Smith throw caught here by Metcalf. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll fake it. Now Smith. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marco Wilson. And the Cardinals will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Well, they get him yet again, Charles. 5 interceptions in this game. You rarely see this, maybe a couple of times in a season, but this defense, they've been fantastic.
It's certainly an example of watching a defense that is in the zone, right? We use that term so often, but most of the time it's from people who are on offense. In this case, it's a defense as a whole, all locked in with each other, all ready to go.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Here's third and 9. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Moore. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up fourth down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Throwing now is Geno. Walker with a grab, left side. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy on the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and that's going to make it 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now a 3rd and 6.
Murray going to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
That sack, it goes to Boye Mafe.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's pulled in at the 32. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
From the gun, here's Smith. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up fourth down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. They snap it to Smith. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Cardinals will now take over with excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Mario Edwards Jr. there to bring him down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from running.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Darrell Taylor with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead. Thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the fourth quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
On 1st and 10, Smith. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They'll let this go for the end zone. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf. His 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Seahawks are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is trimmed down to 10.
Seahawks 10. Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And he'll elect not to run with it. And a fair catch on the kickoff will move the ball to the 25.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Now, all of a sudden, we've got an interesting game here. You just saw them go down and score a touchdown. And what was a comfortable lead at halftime, it's down to a 2-score game.
And so the obvious thought is they've got to ramp things back up again. Got to get the offense into high gear. But we've seen this before. When you've kind of been in shutdown mode for a while thinking that you're okay, it's hard to mash the gas again and have everything work perfectly. They've got to fast together a good drive right here and now.
Because defensively, got to be feeling confident. They haven't allowed a point this half.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of the momentum the other side is starting to gain.
Here's Murray. Flush to his right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and they will take over 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
This offense so far on third down, a pretty anemic, a very anemic. 1 for 9 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now it's Smith. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Murray's throw complete to McBride. They'll wind up getting just a yard. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got a man. It's Brown. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw as here late in the season, he goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Smith throwing again.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf with touchdown number 20 on the year.
And the Seahawks have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand-new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. Well, he's got to have that wrong, doesn't he? They declined that.
There's no doubt about it. Sorry to step on you there, partner, but let's go ahead and run this one together, right? Incomplete pass, yet they call pass interference, and somehow you're going to decline that penalty?
I'm so confused. The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. It's fielded at the 45. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10.
Here's 1st and 10. Smith's going to throw it. And that's going to be caught downfield by Fant. Touchdown! Noah Fant, 50 yards. And the Seahawks use the defensive breakdown to take the lead away here in the 4th.
So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
Little salt, little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up, because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like he still harbors some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
This is 1st and 10.
Back to throw. Murray. This will be caught by Brown. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Here comes 2nd down.
1 yard gain.
Murray to throw. A quick throw, but incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down. Now Murray's got to have this one.
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked by Julian Love.
And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line.
At the 20-yard line.
They'll fake the jet sweep and go instead with Walker.
And he's across for a touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
So the rushing touchdowns continue to stack up, CD. That now 15 for him on the year.
And give him a ton of credit for staying healthy, being a smart runner, and is showing just how important he's been to his team. He's got to be their MVP at this point in the season, and those votes may have been turned into league MVP votes when it's all said and done.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone.
Oh, some strong running.
And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Now Murray.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the 1st down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Gets this to Moore.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
2 timeouts remaining, but time is of the essence. Down 2 scores. It's 1st and 10.
Again, they'll throw with Murray. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
And the Seahawks will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. But with the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along. If you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for the Seahawks,
they finish above 500 for the year. The final tally 9-8.
And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better than average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for Arizona,
it's been a sinking ship all season, to be frank, as they finally draw the curtain on what will be a 2-15 year.
And you have to figure that this is a team that will look a whole lot different come training camp next July. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Run it back.
Yeah.
Run it back.
Run it back. Run it back. Run it back. Run it back.